Hey there, YouTubers and subscribers. RoseRed17 here, and this is my analyzed video of everyone's favorite red-haired swordswoman, Erza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. Now, I have been wanting to make an analyzed video of Erza and the other characters from the show for a long time now, but then I got sidetracked with the review videos of Eden Zero and Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. Those of you who may or may not know, back in April 2019, I did my first analysis video on the Celestial Mage, Lucy Harphilia, and then I did Lasana Stress, and then I did Natsu Dragnail. But I plan on recreating the videos of Lucy and Natsu, since I have noticed how bad the audio is, and I can barely hear myself talking with the music I placed over it. And I thought, 1, this needs a better audio, and 2, I want to add and or change some of my thought process on these characters. Now I'm still going to keep my previous analysis on these characters and what I think about them or what I don't like about them, and going over my previous video and rewriting this whole script about him. But for now, let us talk about this character from Fairy Tail, Erza Scarlet. Erza is one of the strongest wizards in Fairy Tail and one of the S-class wizards. Her magic ability is known as Equip, where she can change into different armors that not only increase her magic powers, but gives her immunity to any type of element, such as dealing with Natsu's flames or Loxus's lightning. She also summons swords or any type of weapon that she stores in a different pocket dimension. Erza acts as a leader of the Fairy Tail Guild since most of the members are scared of her wrath, especially these two. Natsu and Gray are always picking fights with each other, and if things get too rough, Erza is always the one that stops them every time, and those two know that. Once she steps in, the two stop brawling and pretend to be all buddy-buddy, just so they won't get their ass kicked. But in some cases, however...
Alright, stand down, you two. Let's just call it a draw. Come on home and I'll give you some sweets.
We don't want any!
You're dead.
Yeah, didn't see her coming now, did you guys? You cannot underestimate the strength of this red-haired swordswoman. And speaking of strength, I want to talk about Erza's combat skills and unique ability as a swordswoman. The first thing that I have noticed about Erza's fighting style is that she re-equips into the armor that is best suited against the enemy or enemies she faces in battle. The best example I could think of is when she is fighting against 100 monsters in the Grand Magic Games. She first attacks the monsters all at once to maybe try and take them out with one attack. But then how Mavis and Makara puts it, well, it looks like she tried to take them out all at once. Doubtful. I think she used that attack to test the waters, to see how her opponent measure up. That way, she can discover their weakness. That is definitely it. With that one attack, she repelled an instinct, which we equipped to use for each monster. So yeah, as they put it, Erza thinks on her feet and can easily discover the weakness of her opponent. Or she re-equips into an armor that is equal to her opponent for a fair and friendly duel. Like in the episode Erza vs. Natsu. This is after Natsu challenged her to a duel in one of the previous episodes as she accepted it. Erza uses her Flame Emperor's armor to make herself immune to Natsu's fire. Sadly, there is no winner because it gets interrupted by Frog Lady over here and arrests Erza and puts her on trial for something that she did that she wasn't supposed to do. You know, just like the rest of the members of the guild. They like to put the council's penny in a wasp, is how Natsu puts it.
So what you're saying is that all those times I crumpled cities on jobs and got the council's undies in a wad, those were the wrong things to do?
Of course they were.
They don't do it on purpose, and they don't mean any harm. They're all good people, but are reckless fools, and that's what we love about them. Erza has her fair share of recklessness, even though she's one of the few with an abstract mind and knows how to contain herself from an unserious fight. Unless you make her accidentally drop her cake, then she joins the fight. But other than that, Erza is the one that always ends the fight with a single glance, leaving everyone frozen in fear as they obey her command. Erza is a skillful wizard wizard and wins the battle with the use of her combat skills. But there are battles that Erza wins in that make her look like a badass. But how she won certain types of battles doesn't make logical sense. Like the fight against Kyoka after she lost all 5 of her senses that make her a handicap, but she still managed to outbest her. And Lily made a statement about waking up her 6th sense, which could be the sense of instincts. Which kinda makes sense if you think about it. Erza could be using her instincts alone to fight Kyoka, but it could also be without a doubt the power of friendship, or Happy's excuse would be,
It's 'cause she's Erza!
That is a good point.
you have got to be kidding me. The 6th sense and the power of friendship had more logical meaning than she is Erza. I know she is a strong S-class wizard with the ability to change into different armors and summon weapons to defeat her enemy, but saying she is Erza explains her winning against people or demons that are stronger than she is? And how did she win against Azuma on Tenor Island? Not with the basic skills of her sword fighting, but with the power of friendship. Just like most fights where Team Natsu wins is because of the power of friendship scenario. And most of it is from Natsu's fight, but Erza and the others win with that common cliche. But explain this to me. How, in God's name, did Erza take down a meteorite summoned by her psycho mother with nothing but her right arm, a sword, her magic power, and 95% of her body paralyzed? Seriously, I need some answers. And I don't think the power of friendship or that she is Erza is going to be a good enough excuse for this one. She may be a powerful wizard and a strong woman, but she's definitely no goddess. And yet she managed to pass her limits and do the unthinkable, and because of her unbelievable strength and power, people give her the nickname Titania or Queen of the Fairies. Not to mention, she managed to stop these two barehanded in their most powerful and deadly forms, with Natsu in his E and D form and Gray in his Demon Slayer form. What a total badass. Now it's time for me to talk about her backstory. Erza was once a young girl who lived in a small village called Rosemary, but then was attacked, kidnapped, and forced into slavery to build a Tower of Heaven. And that is where Erza's character arc comes into play. She was the only prisoner that escaped and found her way to the Fairy Tale Guild. This explains her character and why she is the way that she is. Why does she wear that armor all the time? Well, it's because she believes the armor would protect her scarred and damaged heart, afraid to afflict herself if she ever decided to drop it, and wouldn't be strong enough to save those around her. But all that changed in the episode called Destiny, when she re-equipped into a non-armor and facing her foe without any protection, which is honestly one of Erza's best moments in my opinion. But her best one, without a doubt, is facing 100 monsters in the Grand Magic game. Erza is an incredible character and is a good leader and knows how to put men in her place. Of course, she may have some flaws, but nothing that would draw my attention that will make me dislike her. Well, besides the whole she is Erza logic to win a battle. And I know I'm not the first one to notice that little detail of this character. In fact, I learned that from watching Anime America reviews of the show. I believe that is all I have to say about this character. And if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments section. And also tell me your thoughts about Erza Scarlet. Do you like her? Dislike her? Do you think she's the best or the worst? Whatever your answers are, I will respect them. And I would appreciate it if you respect my thoughts on this character. And thank you for joining me on my character analysis. And you can look me up on TikTok, Twitter, and Discord. Links in the below. See you all next time. RoseRed17 out.